Hello and welcome to One More Pen. It's been a while since my last video. I know life just happens. I'm sure you know. So today I'm doing a review of a pen. It's the Jinhao 95 and it's boxed right now. I've been using it for a while, but I want to show you the packaging because I think Jinhao got something right with the packaging. I like the fact that it's made to be recycled, but it's still very practical and usable. And you don't always get that. The pen itself is a pleasant surprise. Jinhao does make good pens most of the time. I've had some pens that are not so great, but most of the times they're okay. This is a pen that's better than okay. And I want you to see what this looks like, and we'll do a writing sample and you can see, you know, what it writes like. And you can decide whether this is something that you want to pick up for yourself. And I think you probably would want to. It's a pen that I probably would recommend quite strongly. So without any further ado, let's take a closer look. All right, we're taking a closer look at the Jinhao 95. And so this is the packaging that the pen arrives in. If I don't plan to keep, if it's not an expensive pen and I don't want a fancy box, then I really like to get something that's recyclable. I just think that's a good idea. That's a nice touch, the Jinhao logo and the name on the box. And when we open this up, we have very simple packaging, right? And put this aside. And this is very nice. I like this black sleeve. It's in fact something that I can reuse, and I appreciate that. So the box I can throw away, and this I can use and reuse when I want to. And we take a closer look at the pen. Now this is, for me, I really like this. Very elegant and at the same time somewhat understated. Center band, not too broad, it's not too in your face. The clip is very simple but elegant, and the chrome finish against the black just looks good. On the top, just a metal finial, nothing fancy there, and the same at the bottom. You know, the pen feels premium. It's a metal pen, you can immediately feel that. And the finishing, I really enjoy the quality, in that the transition from the cap to the finial, this metal part, it's really smooth. And I can think of other pens that I have, like this bottom finial, that's not so smooth. I'm thinking of my Parker IM, where this is not perfectly aligned. And the Parker IM is significantly more expensive than this pen. So this is in the price range of a Kaweco Parkeo. I reckon it's around $15 US, probably. But this feels premium, I can tell you that. It does not feel like a cheap pen. It's a snap cap. Very nice. Also the clip, let's just have a look. Very, very functional. It's not too stiff. It's, it just works. It just works for me. We have a brushed metal section, which is very nice. I'm not crazy about metal sections in general, but with a brushed finish you have a very nice grip on the pen. The size of the pen is very nice. It's not small enough for me to want to post it. If you wanted to post this pen, yes, you absolutely could, but I see no reason why. It's already a metal pen, it's already got some good. This is the Jinhao 95 with a fine nib. I think it's plenty wet for a fine nib. Very comfortable, very smooth. There's no scratchiness or anything like that. It is a tiny bit on the drier side, I have to say, which could be a good thing or a bad thing, just depending on how you like your pens. I think this pen performs really well on cheap paper. In fact, I'll get just a piece of copy, you know, standard cheap copy paper, and we can see what it does. But you know, for our purposes here, and the ink that I'm using, Waterman Intense Black. In fact, I have a bottle right here. Just a very safe, reliable ink that you can do anything with. Alright, I actually want to show you how this pen performs on really cheap paper, so let me get some. Right, so what I have here is just very standard cheap copy paper. I'm just going to fold this. Actually, no, let me not fold it, because we want to see what it looks like in terms of bleed through and feathering and all of that. So here we go. Jinhao 95 in a fine nib. Right. So it writes pretty well on really cheap copy paper. I'll zoom in and see if we can see any kind of feathering there. I think it doesn't look bad at all, and if we turn the page over, there are tiny bits of bleed through and a little bit of ghosting, but it's actually not bad, I think, for really cheap copy paper. In fact, if I were to compare this with, let's say, my Kaweco Sport with a what do I have in here? I'm not sure. I would have to check what I have in the Kaweco Sport. Apologies. I'm writing with Waterman Blue. So Kaweco Sport in a broad nib with, I keep forgetting, just Waterman Blue. We probably see a little bit more feathering there, and in terms of, now it's interesting, not really any bleed through, very little ghosting. It's actually a surprising result. I would have expected to see a lot more from this pen because it's a broad nib. I am wondering if the fine nib, because it's a fine, whether it digs into the paper a little bit because it's really cheap paper, and if that causes the bleed through. I don't know. These are both really good inks. So we've got Waterman Blue and we've got Waterman Black. So I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts about this. But all in all, coming back to the pen, this is, I think, a pen that I can recommend without any hesitation. It looks good, it's bold really well, it writes well. I don't think you can ask any more of a pen at this price point. And so this is definitely one I would recommend. Alright, as always, I hope you enjoyed the video, and please like and subscribe. I always appreciate your support, and I will see you next time.